I'm live. Hello. How's it going? We got a couple people. Let me get my phone out of my pocket really quick. Hey, I got both lights turned on this time. I keep forgetting to do that. How's it going, everybody? Joey66, if you don't know me. It is Sunday night. We always do these on Sunday night, at least almost always. And I'm sorry, I've been running around for the last few minutes trying to get ready for this. I had work just called me, so kind of got interrupted trying to get this ready. And I will be going to work later. I'm waiting for a phone call to see when. So I may have to cut this short. Hopefully not. Well, I'll probably cut it short anyway. Hey, Alan Osborne, what's up, man? I probably will cut it a little short because I probably need to try to close my eyes for a little while. Looks like I'm driving somebody down to Newton, Kansas later tonight and then coming back home. So I'm going to need a little rest. So we may not do our whole hour and a half tonight. Hey, J.R. Warner, what's going on? John Paul, what's going on, man? How you doing? Cool. We got some people coming in. Hope everybody had a good weekend and is still having a good weekend, of course. It's not quite over yet. Weekends don't matter much to me because sometimes I work and sometimes I don't, and same on the weekdays. So it's all the same to me, but I know most people are Monday through Friday for the most part. So I wish you all a good weekend. I hope it was good and hope you have a good week coming up and all that good stuff. Anyway, I got to make a video today. Got both cars out, and it was kind of cold, but it was dry at least, and it wasn't nothing coming out of the sky. So, and the roads were semi-dry, so everything was pretty cool there. Yeah, JR, we're going to send the pictures out. Yeah, that would be good. There's a lot of stuff. There is a lot of old farmhouses and stuff, all kinds of things around here. Lots of people have. Actually, there's a thrift store here in town that I hit about once a week, and got a lot of cool stuff in there because we have a lot of estate sales and things like that here, and people who passed away. It's mostly a senior citizen city town, so a lot of the relatives just bring all the stuff and dump it at the thrift store, and you can find some really cool, old, interesting stuff in there sometimes. Yes, John Paul, we definitely need spring. We got a couple hints of it here recently, and now it's back to the cold again, but hopefully not for too long. Hey, Todd Snake, what is going on? Yeah, JR, one of the Tesla's humming fine. The place where we park it, where we have it all set up to charge and everything, though, is maybe. Hey, Becky's here. What's up? The Tesla is covered in tree sap today. I went out there and there was something all over the windows, and I was like, what the heck? It wouldn't come off. And then I realized it was tree sap, and the whole car is covered in tree sap. And I don't know, it sucks. And it's the same place where we used to park the Toyota, and the Toyota never got any tree sap on it, but for some reason it's covered in tree sap, and that's where we have the charger set up and everything. So it's going to be, and I mean, I got it off I didn't get it off the windows. I got the windows sort of cleaned up a little bit so she can drive to work tomorrow. But the stuff on the car itself it doesn't feel like it's going to be very easy to get off. Oh yeah, it's going to suck. Luckily I did protect the paint. I did the ceramic, hybrid ceramic wax last weekend, but so hopefully I'm hoping that'll help it come off a little bit easier. Yep, it is covered. There's thousands of little dots of tree sap on it. It's going to be a really good time. I'm very excited about that. So that sucks. And it's weird, that tree. I mean, like I said, we always parked the Toyota under there before. Why all of a sudden? Not sure what happened, but we got a decent crowd here already. 10 people. Like I said, guys, for those of you who just came in, probably cut this short. I got a call from work. I'm going to have to go to work later. I'm just waiting to find out when. So at any rate, I probably will cut this short after a little while here and at least go try to close my eyes for a while because I got about a 7 or 8 hour drive ahead of me later on tonight. So probably be a good idea if I at least took a little nap. I slept really well last night and I slept in a little bit this morning, so that's going to help. We were about 38 today, I think was the high, but it was windy, so that kind of made it even a little bit colder. 38 is not too bad for this time of year in Nebraska, but the wind kind of made it worse. Got the Challenger out, got the Tesla out, made a little bit of video with the cars. Then, of course, I made my video earlier. Yeah, Burr, 38 in wind does kind of suck. But we had last Sunday, it was in the 60s. So I think it was almost 70. But then it went back to cold again. But so at least we're getting those hints of nice weather, which is good. I like that. So very happy, and hopefully spring's just around the corner. I hope. We sure hope. I'm looking at myself on the screen, and it seems really dark. I got all the same lights on as usual, but I don't know. Thinking about getting an inexpensive drone, guys. I think that would be some cool stuff to do for the channel, and I've always kind of wanted one anyway, so I'm thinking about that possibly. What do you guys think of that idea? So it's going to be how often would I really actually use it, but I don't know. It's kind of my current thing I want to do this week. Oh, really, Todd? Washed your car last Sunday and found something really wrong. Paint overspray all over. Damn. Sky One is here. What's up, Sky? Everybody check out Sky One's channel. Everything looks different, isn't it? It feels like I don't know what's going on here. Everything seems different today. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm catching up on some of the messages here, guys. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm just trying to read. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. Yeah, it's something from the pine trees. It's like, this isn't a pine tree that got mine. It's some other crap. I don't even know what kind of tree it is I'm parked under, but it sucks. So football's over, and I guess XFL played today, didn't they? That was their first. I heard it was pretty boring from what I heard. I didn't watch any of it, so I guess I shouldn't comment. Anybody watch any of that stuff today? And of course, the Oscars are on, I think, right now. Your neighbor used to paint his new room and added his house. The car was out in the driveway. Oh, geez. When people are going to do stuff like that, they should go to their neighbors and warn them, like, hey, I'm going to be spraying out here. Maybe, you might want to move your vehicles. Yeah, this guy currently got all that damn tree sap on the Tesla. It sucks. Yeah, if it's latex, it shouldn't be too hard to. Well, it won't be fun, but it will come off without ruining anything. Yeah, anytime you're spraying anything, my next door neighbor has a lawn company that comes out all summer long, and they've come to the door a couple of times to let me know that they're going to be spraying stuff just on the grass or whatever, fertilizer or weed killer or whatever. And if I wanted to move my cars or rolled windows up or something like that. So they're always very conscious of that, which I really appreciate them doing that. Of course, the neighbor probably didn't think anything would, fly over there or whatever, but it did. So it wasn't malicious probably, but it's always something to consider. You always got to be careful of your neighbor's property, whether it's cars or house or lawn or bicycles or whatever's out there, I'm sure it wasn't malicious, like I said, but they just weren't thinking. Oh God, brake fluid on his Trans Am. Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. That's a pretty good paint remover. Yikes. Was she mad at him then? They break up or something? Oh, ex-girlfriend, yeah. I see a lot of videos on YouTube about jealous women or men or angry after breakups or whatever. Somebody cheated on somebody or something, and you see some of the videos where they're destroying their car or smashing out the windows or scratching it all up. Ooh, some crazy people out there. Not worth getting in trouble, getting yourself in trouble over. You're already upset about things, and things already suck for you. Don't go damaging people's property. His ex-girlfriend was smoking and well worth it. Yeah, I've been there too, Becky. I've had people with kids playing too close to the cars sometimes. And when I was out visiting, well, when my mother passed away about 4 years ago now, almost, I took my my father and stepmother's Ford Expedition, which is pretty nice. They let me take that out there because she was dying, and my car at the time was questioning the grass right there, where the only place where there was to park it, and they were, like tossing balls around and baseballs and stuff, and digging stuff in the dirt. I was paranoid the whole time, especially since it wasn't my car. I didn't want to have to come back and explain why their car was messed up, but it made me paranoid the entire time I was there. But luckily, nothing happened to the car. Oh, cool. Dave says the Speaking of Paint, the build page on the Dodge website is showing Frostbite on the RT Challenger. Pretty nice. Cool. Yeah, the Frostbite looks like a cool color. All the new colors are pretty cool. And they're letting them out one by one. I think another one's coming out in March, or maybe two. I don't remember now. I had those dates on that one video, but I can't remember what they all were. Frostbite was the first one. Yeah, it's always a little scary when the kids play near the car, or even if they're playing like on the street or something, and they're throwing a football or a baseball or a frisbee or something. It's always like, oh God, please don't let that fly over here and hit my car. I don't want to be the old cranky guy either, but at the same time, Oh, cool, Todd. So you got the guy clay barred it and got. I need a clay bar in my car. It's got a lot of crap in the paint. Yeah, Sky, I think I will love it, and hopefully I can get a little decent video. I've been watching. I'm looking for ones that have decent video capabilities with the gimbal and stuff, so they get some fairly steady shots. And I'm hoping that it works out good. Again, it'd probably be a while before I do that. We've spent so much money lately. Yeah, it's one of the ones, Sky. That's one of the everybody recommends the Mavic Air, the Mavic Mini, and a couple other. Yeah, $75 isn't bad, Todd. Yeesh. Yeah, for clay bar and getting all that off of there. Nice. Clay barn looks like a lot of work. I'm going to do it, but boy, it sure looks like a lot of work. I was wondering about that, Scott, because I was watching some of the follow me, the way they follow or whatever. They follow people pretty good, but I was wondering about a car because it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I was wondering if that would have trouble. It seems like I've heard a couple people, like you say, give a little trouble getting to follow a car. Yeah. Becky says she thinks she's too old to claim her car. I tell you what, every year it gets a little harder to get to that bottom half of the car. Everything up top's fine, easy. Everything from like below the belt line down is like, oh man, I got to get down here. I wish I had smoother driveway, I'd get like some kind of a creeper or something for that purpose. But my driveway is old and it's all it's not flat and straight. It's all got. This guy's asking if anybody has a ZL1 rock guards. I've got a few paint chips on the door, both doors, a few other ones, and there's some scratches all over the. There's some scratches all over the hood, and the front driver's side A-pillar is all scratched to hell. I'm not sure what happened there. Both doors have it in the same spot, or on the outside when you open the door, just on that outside edge, where where it kind of comes to a little bit of it right in there. That both sides kind of work. Let me roll this way and get up, and let me get one knee down. It's embarrassing. It's just hop right up. My brain still thinks I can hop right up, but I can't. It doesn't happen. Sometimes getting out of bed that way too. I used to hop right out of bed, and now I hop out of bed to get dressed or something, and it's like, oh, hang on, let me roll. Let me turn my legs over there and get up. I'm not enjoying this old age thing very much. For one thing, I've really let myself get out of shape for the last year or so. I think if I start working out and walking and running and stretching and all the stuff like I used to, that I will probably feel much, much better. I've just let myself get so out of shape. I'm deconditioned really badly right now. And spring is approaching quickly. I'm going to have to quit wearing this kind of stuff. So I better do something quick. You just got yours. You haven't put them on. I have the Mopar mudguard, rock guard things. They're pretty cool. They help a little. Now, when I put the lighter tires on there, though, it kind of flies around it now, but it still helps. Oh, you're gonna Sky One. You're gonna be going live on Saturday morning. Cool. I'll have to try to catch that. I got so many people I need to catch up with on videos and. All right, guys, I'm still reading. I'm still reading up the list here a little bit. Oh, we got 6 people. We came in here Friday afternoon. I only had a few people. A couple new people came in, being that it was a weird time. So we were here Friday afternoon for a little while. It was pretty fun. Had a decent little, not a lot of people, but it was a fun little talk. Oh, I got to remember, we need to plug the Tesla in. It's been sitting there unplugged. She's got to take it to work. Maybe she did it already. Let me see. Oh, she did it. It's charging. It'll be done in 4 hours. Okay. Yeah, what time Saturday morning, Sky? That's too far ahead. I'm going to have to write this down, or you have to send me something to remind me. I'll never remember that. I'll remember after the fact. I'm like, oh, Sky. I tend to remember things after it's too late. Sometime between 9 and 11 a.m. Not exactly sure. Eastern. Okay. So that'd be 8 to 10 my time. Hopefully I can check that out. I love watching other people's live streams, especially. I like watching everybody's videos too, but I really enjoy the live streams. Watching other people. I go to Ziatla SS has some pretty good ones. I missed his last night. I think he had one. I missed it, but I've been to several of his before. He's got a really nice setup. He's got like nice microphone, good audio. He's got a whole background thing going on and nice camera angles, and he switches between. He goes all out. I have a camera, a microphone, computer, and overhead lights that are just the normal room lights. He's got lighting and everything. I do want to get a couple of lights, but not just for this, but for some of my other stuff, especially when I'm in the garage and make stuff. The lighting in there is horrible, and I always have to either stand in a certain spot and it still looks bad, or just not do it out there. So that would give me some chance to a little better lighting in the garage for the spring and summer and fall when I'm out there a little bit doing video. Couple of lights or a light, at least one. Can't wait for the weather to change so I can make some actual car video stuff, like more of it, like it's just so hard when it's yeah, I don't want to get too, it's kind of the way I got this set up. I really can't move it any closer. It'll fall and I can't get any closer. I can get a little bit closer. That's about it. The lighting seems different in here tonight though, for some reason, to me. Hey, Z Outlaw SS, what's up, man? I was just talking about you a second ago. How you doing? I was just talking about your live streams. It's just a second ago, like literally like 1 minute ago. Thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate you coming in, man. I'm just waiting for my work to call because I'm going to be driving, taking a trip tonight somewhere. I just don't exactly know what time I'm leaving yet. So I'm just hanging out, waiting for them to call. So I may have to cut this short. You're going to be doing some other videos too, Sky. Cool. Good, man. Nice, Outlaw. Cool, man. Yeah, Sky One. I will stay out of the mud. That's what one of the bosses, when they called me yesterday, said, "Don't go mudding." I was like, "Don't worry, I won't." I still maintain that any driver would have driven into that same thing because it was freezing cold and windy. I didn't want to make those guys walk, and it didn't look that bad. And it wasn't that bad. I got 3/4 of the way through the stretch. Of just the very end of it was horrible, and it was too late. Everybody probably knows the Outlaw SS's channel already. If not, definitely check out his channel. Good stuff over there. Cool Camaro, great videos. He does a lot of drone stuff, and which I was just talking about that as well. I want to get into that, and good stuff over there. He always does some funny stuff and just a lot of good stuff. And his live streams are really cool too. My mind's wandering, guys. Sorry. Always, yeah, no problem, man. Always shout out all the other channels that I can think of. All the ones that I like, anyway, Because I know as a YouTube fan viewer myself, I like to try to find out about other channels if I don't know about them. I always appreciate when someone tells me about a good one, so I always try to pass that along and pay that back to people and let them know about some good stuff to check out too. I think it's my main source of entertainment between making these videos and talking to you guys and watching everybody's videos. I don't need cable or any of that stuff or satellite. This is it. I watch YouTube stuff. That's pretty much. I do have Netflix, but I probably spend way more time on YouTube than I do Netflix. Most of my time on Netflix is scrolling around trying to find something to watch. I spend more time doing that than I actually watch anything. So I always like to hear about other people's channels, so I like to pass it along and let other people know about other people's channels. It's just the way to do it. Anyone see Doris's page, Woman? Yeah, I have seen some of that. She's doing her engines. Yeah, I have seen a little bit of that channel. There's a lot of good female car channels out. There's quite a few. Been running across to quite a few of them lately. Engine's a mess. Yeah, I need to like I keep saying, I'm really there's so many videos and channels I want to catch up on. I'm just falling behind. You get too many channels that you like, it becomes hard to keep up with all of them. Once in a while, I'll kind of forget about somebody for a while. Like, oh, I wonder what's going on with such and such, and I'll check it out. Like, damn, they've made like 20 videos since the last time I checked them out. They don't even have the same car anymore. They're no longer a Mopar guy. Now they're driving a Mustang. What happened? It's all good though. I like everything. So I'll be driving to Newton, Kansas, and back later tonight, sometime, or in the morning, one of the two. Hopefully, I leave before midnight. I'm hoping, but we will find out. So I'll be driving all night down US 81 for the most part, between here and southern Kansas. It's a pretty nice highway, at least. There's a couple stretches where there is nothing for a really long time, though, which is a little weird. And there's a lot of deer, which is always a concern. There's a lot of deer around here, period, every road. But so you got to watch those damn deer. That's that way everywhere, though. There's so many freaking deer. Raccoons and possums. Deer, raccoons, and possums. See a lot of that. Skunks. No, I'll be driving the work car, which is a Ford Expedition. It's nice and comfortable. The Tesla's comfortable too. I'm not worried about the coronavirus. Every few years, there's some new virus or something that's going to get us all. So I'm not going to get too worried about it. Don't let it affect your life until. I mean, if it seriously gets out of hand, it gets crazy. That's one thing. But there was SARS and there was the flesh-eating disease, and I don't remember. There were so many things that were supposed to get us all, and every few years there's a new one. Here in Nebraska, they have I forget where at, somewhere out by Omaha. There is a place where they are quarantining people here in the state from different places around the country, and people who just got back from China and things like that. Trying to remember, someone else here maybe can remember. It's a smaller town on the outskirts of Omaha, and there's a place there where they're quarantining people with like 24-hour medical checkups, and I guess it's really nice. They talked to one of the guys in there on the phone or something, said it's super nice. They're treating him super nice, and his health's great, and everything's super nice. It's like a luxury kind of thing, but you can't leave. Yeah, I'll try to hit any critters, Becky. Sometimes you can't help it though, and it's a bad idea to try to swerve. I'll hit the brakes a little bit, and say a little prayer that I don't hit them. But if you try to miss them, that's how you end up upside down in the ditch on fire or something. There's a guy here in town, and he was killed out on the highway in the middle of the night. They don't know what happened, but I suspect that he was trying to avoid hitting an animal. He went off the road and flipped a bunch of times, and I have a funny feeling he was trying to miss an animal and ended up, better just go ahead and hit him. Yeah, all of our stuff. I mean, like the Chinese steel mills are shut down, I think, and I know the new Tesla factory over there is on hold, and there's a bunch of big companies and businesses and industries over there that are. So that's going to affect the economy, I'm sure, around the world very shortly, or probably already has. I know the stock market was a little shaky the other day because of it, but then of course they had a major comeback after everything else settled down politically. But see how much that affects things too. If they make a lot of stuff over there, and all of the manufacturing companies around the world use a lot of that stuff, and it's just it could be. Hopefully, it's just another one of those scares that kind of fades away, and we talk about it in a couple years ago. Oh yeah, remember what was that called? Coronavirus. Oh yeah, let's hope it's another one of those. I mean, a couple weeks ago, what was it? 4 weeks ago, everybody said we were going to have World War III starting any second now because of the thing over in Iraq and Iran. And everybody was convinced we were all going to die. There's going to be a nuclear war, and we're going to get World War III, and blah 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 blah. Nobody, that came and went in about 4 days, and no one said crap about it since. So everybody gets so worked up. The news media wants you to get worked up about things and be worried about it. It brings them viewers, and that's how they make their money. So take everything with a grain of salt and don't worry about it. It's a very serious disease or virus, and people die from the flu. We've had hundreds or thousands of people die from the flu every year. So just the regular flu that we all can catch real easily, and we all catch every few years. So it's not something to change your life over. I probably wouldn't travel to China right now. Other than that, I'm not going to worry about it. No plans to go there anyway. Kim and her son are going to Ireland next month. I think it's 5 weeks from today. So they'll be going to Ireland for I think a week and a half or something. They go on a nice vacation like every year. I don't really do a lot of vacation stuff. I like cars and I like stuff. My vacation is every time I get in the Challenger. At some point, I would like to go somewhere, though. Probably will think about that. I'd like to travel a little bit, outside the country. I travel on the highways all over the place, but I need to probably expand my horizons to some other continents and things like that. Yeah, it should be cool. I was looking today at there's a little map all plotted out where they're going to go and how many nights they're staying at each place and all that. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it should be pretty fun and a lot of stuff to see and some history to learn and all that good stuff. It should be pretty cool. I think they're going to enjoy it. We went to Dominican Republic a couple of years ago, and they went to last year. They just went to they kept it simple last year. They just went to Yellowstone, but they had a good time. They pretty much every year they kind of plan some kind of a trip. Sky says his wife wants to go to Ireland. I'd like to go to Ireland. I think it would be pretty cool. I've been to Canada and Mexico, and that's it. And both of those are just basically across the border, not really anywhere. The nearest Dodge dealership is about 80 miles away. 85 or 90 miles away, I think, actually. The one we bought the car at in Salina is about 100 miles away, I think. So there's one in Grand Island, Nebraska. There's a small one in Beatrice, Nebraska, but I talked to them about they had what was it? They had a TA sitting on the lot when we bought this car. We ordered this car, and I went and talked to them about that. But the guy was so weird. He gave me the heebie-jeebies, and he just freaked me out. So there was no way I was buying a car there. He was like one of those stereotypical car salesman guys, like if they made a really bad movie about over exaggerating the stereotypical car salesman guy, that's who this guy was. I was just like, whoa, back off, man. He was a little weird. Then we went down to Salina, Kansas, and the guy there came out and talked to us, super cool, let us take an RT out, no problem. They didn't have a Scat Pack on the lot, so that's why we had to order one from them. But Plus, they didn't, if they, we wanted certain colors and all that stuff too. But he was super cool. We kind of talked to him and kicked around the idea, and we told him what we wanted to pay, and um, he couldn't come up with that price for us, so we left, of course. But we were still thinking we'd probably buy a car there. And he called us, like, which I knew he would. I said he's going to call us on the way home, and he did. And said, "Yeah, we can do that." So we did it all over the phone after that, and got everything ordered and the way we wanted it. And yeah, I am a fan of stopping at car dealerships, not just Dodge ones. I'll go to the Chevys, check out the Camaros, and Ford, check out the Mustangs, or the trucks, or the Jeeps. Or I'm always checking out something at car lots. Kind of like, I like doing that. I just like to see what's new, what they look like, what they got going on, kind of get a general idea what prices are like, and for different cars and things. It's always been something. I've always done that. I still do. I like to do that. And of course, before we bought the Tesla, Kim was kind of wanting a Prius Prime, which is it's a plug-in vehicle too, but it also has a gasoline engine. And so we were looking at a few of the Toyota dealerships, which there's nothing at a Toyota dealership that interested me much, but I still like looking. Yeah, same thing, Todd. Maybe eventually at some point I might do a trade-in or something, maybe, possibly, but it won't be anytime too soon. I just like looking too. And then sometimes, like, if the salesman comes out and they're super cool and everything, and they don't want me to go drive it or something, I'm just like, nah, because I don't want to waste their time. I know 100% for sure I'm not buying that car, so I'm not going to really waste the time. I'll look at it and whatever, but went back to the dealership where we bought this one from, and they had a new V5 Blue Scat Pack sitting out there. This was last spring, and they didn't seem interested in letting me get anywhere near that thing, but which is weird. I don't know. I don't think they realized. It was a different guy, and I didn't park my car right up there by it, so he probably didn't realize that I seriously could probably buy it if I wanted to. Yeah, I'd like to see some of the new colors. It's always good to see stuff in person because they look really cool. I'm sure they like the one I don't like so much, that cinnamon stick or whatever. I'm not crazy about it, but I bet you in real life it probably looks really, really cool. So I bet you I have a feeling, and I'll probably see it in real life and go, "Ooh, that's nice." I do like the blue one. Of course, I like the gold one, and my favorite is the that purple, which I can never remember the damn name of because they changed the name on it. It was called Black Eye, but they changed. Well, I think it might be a slightly different color too, but it's now. I cannot remember the name of that color for some reason. Hellraisin. It's called Hellraisin. Yeah, that's it, Bency. Hey, Bency, what's up? Yeah, Hellraisin. I love that color. It's a beautiful color, at least in the photos and stuff that I've seen. If I were going to get a new one, I would wait and try to get something that was that color. That and Octane Red are my two favorites. Yeah, California Raisin from Hell. Kim's not a big fan. I always like the V5 Blue, and I like the new blue one too with the Frostbite. But Kim's not a big fan of blue cars, so every time she sees a blue car, she's like, "Oh, it just looks tacky or something." I don't know. So she doesn't like blue. I do. She likes blue and other things, just not in cars. So we'd have to, at least agree on a color. She does like the Hellraisin, so, and of course the Octane Red. The reason we got the white Tesla wasn't because we loved white, it was because it's the only color that comes without paying a bunch of extra money. So it comes with the included in the price. If you want any color on it, it's a lot more money. So we just said, yeah, we'll do white. That's why you see so many white ones. It used to be black. You used to have to pay for white, and black was free, or not free, but it came included in the price. And now they switched it to the white is included in the price. So some people who paid for white before probably aren't real happy. But I like it in white because of the top is all that the whole top is glass, and it really stands out best with that white, with the white paint. You really see that glass on top a lot better than the other colors. What's going on, Dave? We got a few people here. Oh, we got 11 now. Cool. Sky One, Todd Snake, Dave, Ben C. We got Becky. I think the Outlaw's gone. Chad sent me a really hilarious Tesla video. I can't think what the guy's name is, his channel, but you guys probably know who I'm talking about. The redheaded guy who does the kind of spoof videos, the satire type videos where he makes fun of different kind of groups of people and stuff. He was making fun of Tesla owners who are thinking they're saving the world, and I want to show everybody how special I am because I care about the earth, but I bought a $90,000 car, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it's a really funny video. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's really funny. I forget what it's called. It's like how to, oh, I can't remember now. He always does a lot of funny videos where he pretends to be certain kinds of people and just over exaggerates it. He's a funny guy. He's got that long red hair. Yeah, how dare I? Talks about like ignoring the fact that the lithium mines where they get the stuff for the batteries comes from is way more toxic and bad for the environment than the actual exhaust from a car. Someone posted that on one of the Tesla Model 3, I think it was Facebook things. And well, I thought it was funny. A lot of people thought it was funny, but some people are highly offended and they're all upset. And I told them, just, guys, chill out. Don't take yourself so seriously or the car that seriously. It's just a car. Get over it. It's a funny video. A lot of people agreed with me. I tried to post something on there the other day. A guy who had written an article about, I forget how many millions of internal combustion engines will be sold between now and 2045. It's like, I can't remember how many million. And, not that there's anything wrong with electric cars. The guy wasn't anti-electric car. He said the reality is that, there's going to be both of them out there. Combustion engines not going anywhere. And there's whatever, any bunch of his predictions and statistics and all this stuff. And I tried to post it on there, but the moderator would not let me. He said it was too controversial and I was trying to cause trouble. I just thought it was interesting. You have to be able to, hear all sides of arguments. You don't want to just say we don't want to hear that side because it's against what we think. So we don't want to hear it. That's not how you live your life. Yeah, there's not a lot of parts in there. There's a lot less parts, and there's going to be even less. The next versions of Teslas that are coming out are going to have very little actual wiring in them. Everything's going to be Bluetooth and all this crazy stuff. There's going to be, I forget, I was watching the guy. There's a lot more tech and stuff too, for sure. And the batteries are expensive. But this guy's name is Sandy. I always forget his last name. He's been around Detroit and cars and everything all his life, and he's an expert. He owns a company that reverse engineers stuff for companies. Like, company will hire him to buy their competitors' products, cars or engines or whatever, and his company takes them apart, figures out how they made it, what they did, what they used, how much it cost them to make it, and all this stuff. And he does that that's what his job is. That he owns a company that does that, and he's a super smart guy. And he's talking about the Teslas are going to have very, very little wiring in them compared to what cars do now, and even the current Teslas have quite a bit of wiring. I forget how many miles or whatever in each one, but it's gonna knock it down like 95%. His name is Sandy. God, I cannot remember his last name. He's always on. There's a channel called man, I'm getting old. I can't remember anything anymore. It's an automotive channel, Autoline Network, I think. I watch that, and every Thursday they have like a live stream, little like talk show thing where they bring in. There's the usual host guys. There's like two of them, and they bring in a couple of experts from different companies or whatever, car experts and stuff. And he's one of them that's on there a lot. And he's got a Sandy Monroe is his name, Sandy Monroe. Yeah. Yeah, Sandy Monroe is really smart. Like a year or two ago, he was talking about Teslas, and he really didn't like them. He thought he didn't like the way that the fit and finish and stuff. There is a problem with that. The frunk on the front of mine of ours is it's misaligned. I need to get it fixed. And there's a couple other little things like that. But then so he was very critical of the company and critical of the cars, and he didn't like the way they were building the cars. They had way too much automation, but they've since changed that. Elon Musk and Tesla, they realized they had way too many robots, and there's a lot of things they can't do that a human just has to do. So they got rid of a lot of those robots. And anyway, when he finally took a Tesla apart, his total attitude changed, and he kind of fell in love with them. And I think he has one now, but he had a complete 180 on his opinion after he took one apart, and he was pretty amazed at some of the things they're doing. And he said even with all of his experience in his company, some of the stuff they can't even really figure out exactly what it is, how they're doing it. Yeah, check out it's Autoline Network, and you'll see him on there a lot. He's not part of the show all the time, but he's one of the guests that's on there a lot. Sandy Monroe, and I think he might have a channel or something too, but I forget the name of his company. They're in Michigan somewhere, and that's what they do. They take apart other people's. Like if you have a company and you want to see what your competitors are up to, you have him go purchase one of their products, and then he takes it apart and blah blah blah. It lets you know everything about it, including right down to how much it cost them to make it in each part. And there are some things on there that they're all giving their opinions. And there was a lady, I made a little bit of video about it. One of the ladies on there a few weeks ago was saying that Challenger, Charger, Mustang, Camaro, all that stuff will be gone in a couple of years. Oh, cool. And she was saying that what was it? Millennials are not interested in those kind of cars anymore at all, which I think is wrong, because I got plenty of millennials that watch the channel, and I talk to them, and I think there's lots of them that do. I think she's a little misguided. I don't think she's quite right on that, but maybe she's right. Who knows? The Camaro may very well be gone, they're saying. So who knows? Maybe she's right. I think a lot of the car companies always do this, but they all through history they've always jumped on the bandwagon of whatever's popular right now. So that's why they're all building billions of SUVs and all that stuff and crossovers, and that's all they want to build. But things go in cycles, and it's like a pendulum swinging. It'll swing back, and people are going to want cars again at some point, I think. But you like it, just can't afford. Yeah, that's what a lot. I mean, a lot of them can't afford it, but the ones that can, there are some that can, and they're not that far out of reach. It's not like we're not talking about Bugattis here or something. We're talking about pretty much cars that, if you just have a half-ass decent job and you don't pop out a bunch of kids before you're 30, you could probably get one. Yeah, I get the same thing. A lot of kids like the car, actually the Tesla too, and I get lots of teenagers, lots of guys in their 20s and 30s and stuff. A lot of people like the car. Some people don't. Some people just aren't car people, but and I think another thing is like younger guys, sometimes they're not willing to give up a few things to maybe get the car that they want. Yeah, I get a sugar mama. But they want to go out and drink at the bar every night or go to the club on the weekends, and um, they want to drink a lot of alcohol and smoke a lot of cigarettes and do all this stuff and go to all these concerts or whatever. Sometimes if you really really want something bad, you got to kind of sacrifice some of that stuff. And there's nothing wrong if you don't want to sacrifice it. There's nothing wrong with that either. But you know, it's like sometimes you got to cut out some of your other things that you like. If there's some one thing particular that you really really want, you can usually find a way to do it. You can eat rice every day for 5 years. But yeah, I used to go hang at the bars and all that stuff, and then that's expensive. Even just a neighborhood bar, sitting down drinking for the night, you end up. I mean, bare minimum, you're going to drop $20 or $30, and that's on a just trying not to spend any money kind of night. That adds up. And you buy a couple drinks for someone else, or it's a weekend and you drink a little more, or you buy a couple drinks for a girl or whatever, and next thing you know, you dropped a big chunk of your paycheck in that bar. Luckily, I never did get into smoking. My mom was a big smoker. I actually did killed her. I never smoked, so that saved me a lot of money over my lifetime. Yeah, that's right, Sky One. Mom's always said it's just easier to fall in love with a rich one. And I think people fall in love with who they fall in love with, but um, it's amazing how many of these I see a lot of young girls who are with guys, and I just think, oh, what the hell is she thinking? I mean, they're supporting him, and he doesn't do anything, and he's sitting around drunk and doing drugs all day, smoking cigarettes, hanging out with his buddies, and she's out working, and these are pretty girls that are smart and attractive, and there's plenty of guys out there who would love to be with him. I think your mom just hopes anybody will take you. I just hope my daughters end up with somebody rich, but it's not my business, I guess. My older daughter's with a really cool guy down in San Antonio. He's a real good guy. I like him a lot. We've been 55 minutes already. Damn, that went quick. Probably go just a little bit longer. I probably need to go lay down and try to get some rest. I'm gonna drive quite a ways tonight, so that's gonna kind of suck. Yeah. All those kids have made nice house, couple cars, vacations to the Grand Canyon in Hawaii, and all the other stuff they did on that show. Yeah, maid. Who can afford a maid? I wish I could afford a maid. That would be awesome. When I was single, I did have a girl who came and cleaned my house for me, but well, we won't go into that too much, but I didn't pay her. She just really liked me, so she would clean my house. Dave says he doesn't know. Maybe when his lease is up, he'll get a nice car finally. Yeah, Charger GT is real nice. Real nice. Well, we won't go into how I paid her, Sky, but that was wrong of me. I was young and stupid then, though. Oh, God. Let's hope Kim doesn't watch this one. She'll have questions about that. Yeah, it was. I was being very resourceful. I did have a clean apartment. I did. It was a really small apartment, too, so it wasn't a lot of work. It was a little tiny living room, a tiny kitchen you could barely turn around in, and a one bedroom, one bathroom. And I only used the bedroom for storage. I was totally single, so I slept in the living room most of the time. I was bartending and hanging out and having a good time all the time. And I think that apartment was like $315 a month or something like that, which is crazy to think of that now. Yeah, you need another day off. I've been waiting to work, man. I'm glad I'm working tonight. I'm a little tired, so I hope I get through this okay. That trip back is a little bit sketchy. It's in super long stretches of nothing, and there was one time on this exact trip on the way back, I think I did fall asleep for a split second, so I got to be really careful. I remember I was dreaming. I was going down the highway, and I had this really quick little dream that I was trying to climb up into a Jeep that was like way up off the ground, and it was like this. It was like way jacked up on this lift, and I was trying to get up in the Jeep, and then all of a sudden I realized I was driving down the highway. I was like, oh, and it freaked me out. I rolled all the windows down, and I pulled off the next place I could pull off. I got out and walked around, and I tried to wake myself. It was pretty scary. Sky, basically, I drive people for the railroad around to wherever they need to go. Like when they come somewhere and they just got to get back home, I take them home. So it's very flexible, and it's you never know when you're working, and it's kind of cool. I kind of like it, and I really like driving, so it works out pretty good for me. Dave's laid off, so every day is Saturday. Yeah, there's no CD player in these vehicles, so I have to try to listen to the radio. And there's really no. It's all country, which I don't like. There's a couple like classic rock stations I can sometimes get in, so I usually end up listening to talk radio on the overnight stuff. And yeah, so Slayer keep me awake. I was listening on the way back last night from work. On the way back home, it was the middle of the night. I turned on talk radio, and it was Coast to Coast was on. They were playing. I don't know if I think we've talked about that before on here. Some of you guys know what that is. And they were playing old Art Bell versions of Coast to Coast from back in the 90s. And it was so weird because he goes to talk about the news of the day or the news of the week. And this is from 1999. And it was just after the Clinton, when Bill Clinton was impeached, but then he was found, he was acquitted in the Senate, just the same way that what just happened now. They said the president was, impeached, of course, but this week he was, acquitted by the Senate, and whatever. Some people on the other side are not too happy about that. And then the other story was some virus that was going around that everybody was freaking out about. And the third story that he mentioned was, God, there was another one that was, it was all just like stuff that's happening. Oh, it was some court had upheld the case to let some people sue gun companies for making guns that are used in crimes. And it was weird because it was like, this is in 1999. He was telling about the 3 top stories of the week, and it was like hearing the current news right now. It was really weird. Oh, you got a ham radio license? Cool. Yeah, I used to know some people who were in it. It always seemed interesting. I don't really know anything hardly about it, but it always seemed like it was fun. My grandfather did that too, and I never, we didn't live near them, but he was into that a little bit too. Yeah, no metal. So I get metal in the Tesla because I can get, I can get on the internet in there and listen to anything I want. And in the Challenger, I have Sirius XM, so I got lots of choices on that in that car. Hey, Steve Fitzpatrick, what's up? Yeah, Dave. It was weird. He was telling the top news stories, and it was February something, I think, of 1999, and it was just like hearing. How's it going, Steve? Thanks for coming in, man. Yeah, if you're out in the middle of Nebraska and Kansas, and you just have regular radio is all you can get in the car, then you don't have too much in the way of choices. You got about 12 country stations, maybe a classic rock station if you're in the right spot, and then some talk radio. So I usually vie for the talk radio. It keeps me interested, and I keep listening. If it's a good subject, sometimes it's boring. Well, there's tons of sports talk radio too, which pretty much bores me. I don't really get into that too much. Yeah, I know people you can talk all over the world to different people and everything. Yeah, my grandfather did, and then I had a friend in elementary school whose dad was big time ham radio guy. So you just have a handheld walkie now. Oh, cool! I know back in the day they had like a whole speak setup with the thing and the giant thing going up in front of the house, and I remember when I was a kid, we got into, well, everybody was into CB radios and stuff. And then one of the classes, we had a class in school where part of the semester we did, we got a CB radio license, and we all had our little handle. And all we ever did was the teacher would go out in her car in the parking lot, and we'd talk to her from inside the school. But it was fun. Oh, cool. So you can get the handheld. That's cool. Nice. So if everything goes to hell and the internet goes down and everything, can you still would ham radio be an option for communicating with? So you got a tube rig in case of EMP. Cool. Nice, man. You're ready. Yeah, I think we get it for about 60. They give you a price, and then if you tell them you don't want to get it, it's too much. Kim always calls them a couple times, and both years we've had to renew. She's called them, and they're very flexible with the pricing. And yeah, I think it gets down to 59 or 60 or something like that. The first year it was like, oh god, if I wanted to keep it, once you get it, you kind of like it and you want to keep it, especially living out here in the middle of nowhere for the XM radio, and then Sirius XM, and then yeah, the price was like, whoa, I don't know. I don't think I want to pay for that. Never mind. And then she called him a couple times. Next thing you know, we had it again for $60 or whatever. And then the same thing this last year when it expired, we called and she wrangled around with him for 5 or 10 minutes and ended up getting us another really good deal. And I've heard a lot of people say that. So if anybody out there wants Sirius XM or has it and doesn't want to renew it because of the price, if you call them up, they'll work with you. You had a CB radio back in the early 80s, KTG 9874. I was, I forget. Yeah, MP3s and all that stuff. I've kind of just gotten accustomed on my trips for work. Most of the time I just tune into the AM talk stations because I can pretty much, they're 50,000 watt stations, most of them, and they can keep them on all night. They don't fade out on you or anything. And most of the time there's somebody out there talking about something that'll keep my interest enough to listen. Yeah, I don't think there's too many new cars with CD players anymore. There is a few, though. I can remember. I saw a list recently of cars that you can still get with a CD player. Don't remember what any of them were. I think some of the cars that are probably geared to an older crowd maybe still do because those people are going to have a billion CDs. We have a billion CDs, but they never get played. They're just sitting there. You should see Kim's collection of VHS tapes. She's got a freaking video store, and she still uses them. We still watch them sometimes. She's got a lot of cool old stuff on there. So a lot of times in our bedroom, we have a VHS player in there. So sometimes we'll watch movies in there. Some of the old stuff. She's got a lot of old, pretty good 80s and 90s stuff. Yeah, you can take all the old CDs and you can transfer them over and all that stuff and do whatever. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt. You might have left a CD in your mouth. Trying to think, the Prius that she has or we have, whatever, it has a CD player in it. The Saturn does, but those are both the 2010 and the 2003. So, oh, my battery's gonna die, guys. Oh shit, too late.